Hi, I'm Sonia and welcome to my channel, Sonia Over 60. In today's video, I wanted to talk about goals. Goals that you may have set, goals that you're thinking about setting, and how things are progressing with those goals that you've set out for yourself. I always have goals. I always have some objective that I'm trying to reach. And lately, these last few weeks, I was thinking, what was it that I wanted to really set out for myself this year? And I went back to January where I had set my listed all the things that I wanted to do this year. And two of my main goals, I wanted to do a lot of strength training. I really wanted to, gain strength and kind of reshape my body. It wasn't really so much as losing weight, but as getting things to shift around, build muscle, lose some of the fat. And I also had a goal in mind of being able to do a pull-up. Now, looking back, I really didn't follow my own advice when I set those goals. And I've done a whole video on setting goals, and I'll link to that video in the description below. And essentially, my advice when you're setting a goal is to make it SMART, meaning it's specific. So it's very detailed. It's not just, I want to get stronger. It's really specific. I want to get stronger so that I can do a pull-up. It's measurable. It's, along the way, there are markers that you can use to determine how well you're succeeding towards the progression of your goal. For example, I want to do a pull-up. Well, I'm going to have to do specific exercises. I'm going to have to do like a band-assisted pull-up, or I'm going to have to do like a body weight pull-up and track that. So there's something that you can measure to see progress that you're making. It's achievable. It's when you set the goal, I want to do a pull-up. I'm not saying I want to do a pull-up in 2 weeks. No, rather I should say I want to do a pull-up. It's going to take me 6 months to gain that strength. It's relevant. It has to mean something. And for me, it's like I've always in the back of my head thought it'd be so cool if I could actually do a pull-up. I just feel strong if I could do that. And it has to be timely. So you set kind of a timeline to that. Well, looking back, I didn't do that. I just said, oh, I'll go look at some YouTube videos. I'll put a plan together. It's not, and I went to the gym, but it wasn't as focused as it could have been. So sitting here in October, yes, I've gotten a bit stronger. I'm nowhere closer to doing a pull-up than I was in January. And my body hasn't shifted. I haven't gained or lost weight since January, but I would like to lose some inches, or I'd like to, just fit into my clothes a bit better. And that isn't always necessarily losing weight, but it's gaining that muscle, losing the fat. Anyway, I was just sitting, pondering that and thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want to get to this new year, which is like coming up very, very, very fast, and say, I didn't achieve what I set out to achieve. And why didn't I? Because I didn't have a plan. So I've now looked at, okay, I need a plan. Specifically, I need a plan for strength training, for progressive overload. And, ladies, if we progressively overload our muscles, chances are we're still not going to really gain big muscles. It takes years and years to develop big muscles. And I try really hard, and I'd really like to see a bit of definition, but it's not going to happen by lifting light weights. And it's going to happen if you're just really dedicated to doing, the strengthening, the training that goes with it. I also decided to get a program. So I hired a program, or I bought a program, which really does weights the way I like it to do. It's heavy, it's progressively getting heavier. Sometimes you have low reps, sometimes you have high reps. It's a really great mix and really works all of your body parts. And, I find it very fun to do. So I've started that. And I've also now said, okay, from now to the end of the year, I want to get closer to doing that pull-up, because I still think it's going to take me a bit longer than a couple of months to do. However, I now have a plan. I have a plan in order to get there. But there's another part of this, and this is what I call, you got to shake up the routine. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna have a plan to go to the gym, and I have a plan in terms of what I'm going to do there, and I have a plan in terms of what I might want to be eating. But am I going to do that with my current routine? I haven't been so far, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what my current routine is. Currently, get up whenever. Usually it's around 7-ish. I just wake up when I wake up, go downstairs, get a coffee. I start, checking out social media, what's been happening on Facebook, what's been happening on YouTube, what's been happening in the news. I'll do my Wordle. And sometimes I can get sucked down to a little social media rabbit hole where I'm watching reels, I'm watching little short stories, I'm watching some YouTube videos, and before I know, 3 hours have gone by, and I'm haven't done anything. I mean, not that that's inherently bad, but I think for me, it was becoming too much of a habit that it was interfering then with the rest of my day and with me wanting to do what I wanted to do with the rest of my day. So I do the social media. Then I would, if it was a work day, I'd get ready for work. If it wasn't a work day, I'd still get ready, and then I'd go about my day, running errands, meeting friends, for coffee or for an outing, doing groceries, housework, whatever, kind of was in the plan for that day. Then around 6 o'clock, I'd have my supper. Well, I'd also eat, when I was hungry, I'd have my breakfast, lunch. Supper was typically around 6. Then I just plop myself on the sofa and I turn on Netflix and watch TV for 3 hours and have some wine, sometimes mindlessly eat. Although the eating wasn't always, sometimes it was bad, sometimes I wouldn't eat anything. But I'd have a couple of glasses of wine, and I was getting into this rut of this is what I was doing all the time. And what would happen sometimes, if I didn't, on a work day, for example, I'd have to get to work and work my day, but then I'd be oh, I don't really feel like going to the gym. There's no excuse. I just didn't feel it. So sometimes my workouts would slide. So shaking things up, right? Sometimes you just got to turn that routine on its head. Sometimes you don't even have to make big changes, just little tiny changes. And then you're going to be on the path to achieving those goals that you set out for yourself. So the new routine, I set my alarm and get up and out of bed at 6 a.m. I just do it. I then go downstairs and I still have a cup of coffee and I still do some social media because I do like to start my day doing that. But it's for 45 minutes. I'm out the door at 6:45 and I hit in the gym at 7 o'clock. I get in my workout. I come home. I feel fantastic. And I know that my workout's been done for the day. So it doesn't matter whatever happens in the day, the workout is done. I'll come home, have usually a protein shake, and get ready for my day. And sometimes if it's work, then I'll go to work. And if it's not, it'll be doing the other activities that I've set out for the day. Have lunch at some point, and then for dinner, have my dinner. And one thing I've done too with my food now is I'm really planning what it is I'm going to be eating most days of the week. And I'll get to that a bit later. But I plan what it is, and I put it in my FitnessPal because I want to see if I'm going to be making sure I hit my macros. I really want to focus on protein because protein is really good when you're trying to build muscle. And I've sometimes I know I just didn't eat enough protein that is needed. So I plan my day. I plan what it is I'm going to eat. I log it all in, and then I see if I'm on track with the macros or not and make adjustments before the end of the day. This is done before my day even gets started, before I've even eaten anything. Then, like I said, supper time, have my dinner. What I do now, right after dinner, is my son usually takes the dog out for the last walk of the day, go with him, come home, make a cup of tea, go upstairs, and that's where I'll do my skincare routine. And at the same time, I'll watch some YouTube videos because I've want to catch up on what's been happening with some of my creators, the creators I follow. Or maybe I'll work on my own YouTube video. I'll do the research I need to do, or start thinking about different topics, and do that work that needs to be done. Then by like 8:30, it's like, okay, that's it. Brush your teeth, go to bed, and read for a bit. And then, do that the next day. And you wake up and you feel like you've accomplished what it is that you've set out to accomplish, that you are on the right track, that you are going to be achieving the goals that you've set for yourself. Now, I just want to say that I do not strive for perfection. I do not do this 7 days a week. And the reason is because if I try to do that 7 days a week, I know I'm just going to set myself up for failure. Because things happen. There are things that happen that are just sometimes out of your control, and you just have to take that in stride. And then I don't want to be hard on myself because I didn't do something that I was supposed to do. So I figure if I'm achieving my goals, if I'm setting out what I want to do, like 85% of the time, perfect. The rest of the time, okay, that's where all those other little things can, if they creep in or they take over or something happens, you're flexible, your schedule's flexible. Plus too, when it comes time, like on weekends, or even like 1 or 2 nights a week, I want to spend time with my partner, with my family, with my friends. I want to make sure I have time with them, because it's really important. It's all about that balance, and it's so good for your soul when you have those connections with other people as well. So while, yes, shaking up the routine, that's really important, it's also important to make sure that you do allow yourself periods where you may not just be following the plan for a day, but you get yourself back on track. And if you find yourself kind of getting out of things, well, it's time to shake it up again. But before you even get to that point, that's why with having SMART goals, it's, you say, okay, you have milestones, right? So you say, okay, once a month, I'm going to do a check-in. I'm going to review my FitnessPal. I'm going to review my workouts. Am I progressing? Did I do what I needed to do? And if you haven't, then you make adjustments. And if you have, great, you're on the right path. You're progressing towards what it is that you want to do. So if you ever feel like you're not achieving what it is that you want, really take a look at the SMART principles. Take a look at how you set up your plan following the SMART principle, and then shake up the day, shake things up, turn them on their head. And I think by doing that, you're just going to be successful in whatever it is that you set out to do for yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up and hit the like button. And if you want to know when I'm putting out other videos, just hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified. Until the next time, you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.